2016 Ford Explorer, guys. We're gonna swap a fuel injector. Step one, we gotta deactivate the fuel system. In this case is fuse 63, which there it be. But yeah, no, I found out that the injector number 2 kept leaking fuel. It wouldn't maintain the pressure, so we gotta swap it. So after you remove your fuse, you want to go and crank the car until it depletes all the fuel. So the fuel system right now is technically off. You just crank it. After that, just deactivate everything. So I remove the negative battery cable, get it out of the way. And here, straightforward, we just take the cap off and try to keep it as clean as possible. You don't want any debris getting into the engine. So as clean as we could get it. And we're trying to get to the injectors, so we gotta remove all these hoses and intakes just to get into the injectors. So here we go. I'll remove this hose out of the way. It wasn't that easy. I know it looked easy. It wasn't. And then right here, that one was a pain too. There's a connector you gotta pull and pull. Eventually it comes out. That goes all the way across there. All that has to get out of the way. These clips, you squeeze and then you pull up, pops out. And in this case, being a 2.3, I had to take all these hoses and the valve out of the way just so I could work better. So all these clips, you see that hold stuff together, out of the way. And then the bottom side of the hose, right there, you squeeze those two tabs, pull up, and then straight up. There you go. And then I was getting ready to loosen all that up, but it turns out I gotta remove that solenoid there, or the valve, I mean. Everything needs to come out of there so I have access to the intake. So all that, and yeah, the one in the bottom was a little bit of a struggle, but it's a supposed quick connect. Undo all the connectors and those covers, man. Get them out of the way. So, oh yeah, we gotta remove the belt tensioner. You gotta get that out of the way. So 14, you pull it and just get the belt. And then the bottom hose for the intake. There we go. And then on this one, the little red ring, make sure you compress the whole red ring downwards and it should pop right out. This is after I cleaned it because I was struggling. Oh, and then right here, I'm going to show you there's another quick connect. Very conveniently located. So once you take the screws off, the bolt off, that little quick connect right there and the connector will come right off. I shouldn't say right off. It's a bit of a struggle. And then here we gotta take everything off from the fuel pressure pump. And that whole line, you have to take it. That's a high pressure line, so it's recommended to put a new one in every time you take that one off. And under warranty, I have to put a new one on. Yeah, and all the fasteners need to be replaced too, for the intake and the fuel rail. So warranty, man, all new. So yeah, once you get the nut and the bolt out, this turns out to be a 17 millimeter. Yep. And I had to take that other connector out of the way on the top side. If I remember, you just crack it loose and then you should be able to do it by hand once you get it loose. If not, then there's something wrong. And then the top one, I'll show you. There's a connector right there. Pop that connector out of the way. And then see how it barely fit without the connector. You could crank it open, and so you get that out of the way. And now we gotta unplug all the injectors here. I'm right there. I'm just doing that for the harness. And see, the tensioner's out of the way. So you gotta lift that yellow tab and then compress it. Again, I'm trying to show you live so you guys can see it could be easy, but it's always a bit of a struggle with the extra dirt and stuff in there. And then you have to undo all the injectors, which I discovered once you remove this cover on the fuel rail. It's quite simple. That cover right there. And then you undo all the injectors and straight out. So see, there you go. Once you take that cover off, you have ample access to those connectors. And then you want to pull straight out. And I haven't been lucky yet. I'm getting all the injectors out at once. Oh yeah, before. Try to get it cleaned as possible. There. And always one injector stays at least. And then once you get them out, you just clean it out. All of them. Just make sure. This is a special tool that came with this kit. It's a Rotunda's kit, but you could find one on Amazon for the 2.3 injectors. It comes with the little brush. This is how they look. And since I'm only changing injector number 2, I have to change the O-rings and the seals on the other ones just because I don't want it to, leak. And plus, warranty wise, you got to do all that. And yeah, you just get the support for the O-ring out. The O-ring, the support. And then you cut up that Teflon seal on it. Be very gentle. I try not to put too much pressure at once. They do cut really easy, so just be gentle and you could get it out. I mean, those are the Teflon rings, and those are the part numbers. You do need a special tool for that. Or at least it makes it a lot easier. That's the O-ring. These are all genuine Ford parts. That's the benefit of working in a dealer. You get all Straight out of the OEM parts, man. So I hope these part numbers help you. So yeah, so this little, it's a Teflon guide. It's an installation tool. Pretty much straightforward. You put your guide. Oh, this is after you get it on. You gotta have that tool. I don't show that. But yeah, so once you get your guide on, you try to be as fast as possible. But see how it stays a little loose? So you need that special tool I showed you to get it tighter. Eventually I did it, but I forgot to record it just to size it up again. But yeah, I went ahead and did it to all of them. Remove and install. And here you go. Here's the components. Then this is what you gotta follow to get those in. Here I was already in the second step. I forgot to record. My apologies. But yeah, I'm trying to give you all the info you're gonna need to go back in and the torque specs. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's just straightforward. I know at times it might look daunting, but I'm trying to help you guys, trying to give you all the info you need. And don't be scared, man, especially with the way things are nowadays. I really hope I'm helping you guys. It's a bit tedious, and this is how I do my angles. I haven't got the angle tool yet. I just take an estimate. I didn't. So I knew I had to be under 45 to make that angle. And it's pretty tight by now, actually. But it's doable, guys. Don't be scared. And this is for the intake. I really hope this helps you guys. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.